Good morning, YouTube. I'm up at 6 a.m. This is crazy. But Pokemon TCG Pockets expansion Wisdom Sea and Sky is finally out and not just in the most blurry resolution, so I'm happy to finally look at it and review every card. I was under the impression that the person who made the big translation was lying on all of the trainers, which is why I didn't make another video to like review them, because I felt like there's no way you could have actually reviewed those cards because you couldn't read any of the supporters. So I don't believe any of them, which is why I didn't make a video. So let's see if holding off is correct. Anyway, without further ado, let's watch this trailer and see what was right, what was wrong, yada yada yada. Wisdom of Sea and Sky goes hard. Not gonna hold you. Quo EX, yep. We know this one. Really good. Lugia. We know this one. Kind of insane. Yep, the starters. Pichu. It is Energy Zone, correct. This one's Goofy. Okay. Well, I didn't get to read those yet, so let's get to those right now. Let's get to those right freaking now. First of all, I'm gonna say this right now. Why does so Umbreon gets Cyrus when it's in your active. Espeon gets heal 30. This is like Cresselia and Darkrai all over again. I feel so like, if you are an Espeon lover, I genuinely don't see a single reason why you would use Espeon over Sylveon. Like, it sucks. They both evolve from Eevee. Is a 10 damage and 30 healing worth it? Especially because this Pokemon has to be in your active spot to heal 30. This is actually, I'm apologizing to all Espeon fans out there. If you are an Espeon fan, apologies. If you're an Umbreon fan, we're up, baby. This is freaking stupid. I still don't know which decks will actually be running Umbreon, but it's really good. Really silly. It does have a 2 retreat cost. Pretty important to know, it does have a 2 retreat cost. And it's not going to be able to just like, if it's going to be in the active spot, it's going to be in the active spot. You can't just have it in the active and then retreat it. It's usually going to have to be the one attacking. Of course, because it's a Cyrus, you can leaf out if you have a stronger damage dealer, like, say, Dark Giratina. So we will see what ends up happening with this guy. I really am interested. Hopefully it's not just Darkrai, Giratina, and then you have Sylveon, Umbreon, but I really do hope that Umbreon is able to make its own deck. Maybe Umbreon, Darkrai, hold Latina, but we'll see. We'll see. Alright, what we're here for. What we are here for. This is exactly what I was saying. Silver was wrong. That guy just freaking lied and got away with it. And we have YouTube videos with way too many views that were treating that part as like, this is it. And I knew it wasn't it. I freaking knew it. So let's talk a little bit about these cards. Lyra says, switch your active Pokemon that has damage on it with one of your benched Pokemon. So here's my thoughts, right? This is not switch your active Pokemon that has damage on it with one of your benched Pokemon. This is not like Leaf, right? This is like Illuma Like this is good for cards with 3 or more retreat costs, but the thing is that if it's like an active Pokemon, why would it not have damage on it? I mean, why would it not have energy on it to where Leaf is just like better? And the reason is like if you are using like a 3 retreat cost more, you don't want to like burn an energy. I am not really seeing where this card is going to be too good, especially like if you're using like maybe if it's like a Snorlax situation, right? But like if it's a Snorlax situation, don't you want to just Elima it and be attaching to a different Pokemon? So I need you guys. You guys are more in tune with the meta, not the meta, with the off retire cheat cost cards. Like maybe this is good with Charizard. And what if your Charizard takes too much damage, but you don't want to retreat it and use all your energy, so you Lyra and you bring in another Charizard and then you start stoking that. Like that's all I can see genuinely, because I don't see where this is like going to be like too crazy. Silver, disappointed it's not talking about special energy. I kind of knew it wasn't talking about special energy. You couldn't read the I'm gonna have such a rant later. Oh my gosh, it was pissing me off. On stream you'll catch me ranting over at twitch.tv/Jeudy or here on YouTube Live. Your opponent reveals their hand, choose a supporter card, you find there and shuffle it. That's kind of an interesting card, Silver is. It's just like you are minusing 1 year for your opponent and you're getting like no hand advantage either because you're removing a card from yourself. I don't know necessarily if I think this is going to be a really good card. This might even fight for space with like Mars, right? Because like sometimes you're trying to put a specific card, right? Like you're like, oh, I lose this game if they have Cyrus. I lose this game if they have Sabrina. I lose this game if they have Red, right? And if it's like one of those, you have control of saying, hey, return it to your deck. The other thing is your opponent is revealing their hand, which is a lot of information. If you're using this turn 1, you now know your opponent's entire hand, right? You know exactly what to look out for. And so when I was initially reading it, I was like, this sucks. And now that I'm done reading it, I'm like, this doesn't suck. But it isn't broken, right? It's kind of like it has cool use cases. And I would like to see where it is used. So super excited to see this card. And we have Rescue Scarf. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, you put it in your hand instead of the discard pile. So here's the ruling, because this is a real TCG card, which is why when the leak also lied. Yeah, I hate the leak, by the way. The like very blatant lies on all of the supporters that you couldn't read. When there 2 of them were like cards that existed. When I think of this card, Rescue Scarf, it does not prevent knockout. It does not prevent knockout, so you will still be taking a prize point. Do not try to argue with this on me. There's literally years of TCG knowledge on this. If I see a comment being like, you don't know that Pokemon TCG Pocket is different than the Pokemon TCG, I will find you and hide in your walls. And that's it. You'll just have to live with me in your walls. I'm not going to pay rent. And we finally have Elemental Switch, which is just moving a fire, water, lightning energy from one of your bench to your active, which is cool, especially because you can like retreat the Ho-Oh and like attach to something else. My thing is like, why does it have to be a fire, water, lightning? Why couldn't it just be like any energy? But it's very clear. You got to remember that this is a gold and silver set, so that means that we have Entei, Suicune, and Raikou, who could be big players. We haven't seen a lot of the cards, so very excited to see that we do have an energy switch. This is an item, which means you can use multiple in a turn. So super excited where we can see this going. With decks this would be wanting to play in. And yeah, the trainers, I think Lyra, it can't really see too many of the use cases over Leaf. Silver, really good, really cool, very good late game, very good early, because early you can have 100% information on what your opponent's hand is at that time. On a crucial turn, Silver can potentially remove a key supporter that can end the game. It could also give you routes of how to play it. Rescue Scarf, I think, is cute, but because it doesn't deny a point, I don't think it's too good. An Elemental Switch, I'd like to see the combos that you can do. This is a buff for all fire, water, lightning decks, especially low energy fire decks, low energy water, and whatever is happening with lightning. So super excited to see, especially lightning. Move a lightning from one of your bench to your active. This is just better Dawn. Oh my god. I just realized this is just better Dawn. Like, if you were using Dawn before, this is better. This is better Dawn. This is better Dawn. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't want to think about this no more. You guys can theory craft that. Let's talk about some of the elder cards, since obviously not everyone was in privy to the leaks. Ho and Lugia combo together. I also don't want to see Jeudy in my comments. If I see Jeudy in my comments, I'm going into your walls. I'm going into your walls, and I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to not pay rent. Because why are you using Jeudy, which is a 1 prize pointer, after using a 2 prize pointer, which will just end your game, right? Lugia is 150 HP. Lugia does 180. I can see, remember that Ho attaches to benched basic, so if you're going to use something like Dragonite, make sure to not evolve it before your Phoenix Turbo, which can get really risky because of cards like Red Cutter Mars, right? So I do think that Lugia is a really great attach. I can't see a better attachment right now than Arceus, besides Lugia, because I think the 180 is insane. So that is where I'm at with Ho-Oh. I really do hope that there are more energy accelerators, and obviously, speaking of energy accelerators, we do have Pichu, right? Pichu has taken lightning energy from your energy zone and attached it to one of your basic Pokemon. If you're unfamiliar with those signs, that's 0 energy. That means you can use these turn 1. In Pokemon Pocket, you can attack turn 1, meaning that you can Crackly Toss and Twinkly Call. The downside are that these are 30 HP Pokemon, right? That's the only downside, but if you're going first, being able to attach that first lightning energy means that you're not behind in energy, which is kind of cool. And if you are going second, you can have a Ho-Oh ready to attack, like almost expeditiously, right? So really, really cool to see. I think Pichu's gonna be good. I do think that, however, because Pokemon Pocket is 3 prize points, it's really, really gonna be awkward. If this game was 4 prize points, I think these would be the most. I think Pichu would literally be the most broken Pokemon card right now. But because it's 3 prize points, it's going to be hard, but it's going to be played. It's going to see use. And Cleffa is going to also see use. Put a random Pokemon from your deck into your hand. However, when it comes to Cleffa, I think it's going to have to be used in a deck with more evolutions. Because, like, why am I wasting a turn or even a slot for Cleffa when I could just be... I wouldn't put this in a deck with basics, but I put this in a deck where I need to draw evolution. So Cleffa is cool because Cleffa, again, 0 energy cost. I wish that there was a way to just scoop it up, like a scoop up net, right? Or something to, like, return it to the hand, but maybe that's too broken. This card is pretty baller as well. You may discard any number of your bench Pokemon. So, like, it can deal 60... it can deal up to 140. That might be like too low. That might be too high. Well, I obviously end up seeing what decks rock with this. Discarding any of your bench water is really good. It's anti-Cyrus, anti-Sabrina. There's water has ways to grab cards back from the grave. So maybe like if you have like a chipped Suicune, right? Suicune EX even. And you're like, nope, you're not taking that. I'm going to discard it. And then you can scoop it up and you can play it back. So really cool things that can happen with this card. So very excited to see if it gets play. And yeah, that's every single card that was revealed. I mean, they revealed the starters. Do you think that they're going to reveal, do you think that they are all going to be EXs, or you think that they're going to do the treatment where only one of them are? Let me know, because obviously two of them share typings with the Sacred Beast, right? So it's going to be awkward. So I only think one of these might get it. So without all of that, that was a lot of yapping. Tell me your thoughts on these cards. If you got to this part, say like, Babagino Gabagino, I can't believe the blurry ass leaks on the supporters were fake. Wallahi, who would have thought? And I am gonna go back to bed.